Just like a man who is interested and eyeing on a certain woman to have a relationship with her into marriage, so is God with his people. God's eyes are everywhere and on everyone. God's eyes are following you, believe it or not. Take it this way: you just don't wake up married, right? It starts with a man who is interested in you, who saw you first. When a man is interested in a woman, he will do anything to get to know her. That's why sometimes you will just receive flowers from a secret admirer, not knowing who sent them. Sometimes a man will just pay your bill in a restaurant unbeknown to you. Sometimes that secret admirer will send someone, a friend or a relative or a brother, to approach you on behalf of him before he himself can meet with that woman face to face. That man will not sleep at night thinking about you. Where are you at? With who? How do I get this woman? How do I get her attention? I want to marry her. That's what God our Father goes through every day, because he is interested in you. He wants to propose marriage to you. God orchestrates your salvation. The Bible states that God is working every day. In Ezekiel chapter 16 from verse 5 says, "You were despised on the day you were born." Verse 6, "Then I passed by and saw you kicking about in your blood, and as you lay there in your blood, I say to you, live. I made you grow like a plant in the field. You grew up and developed and became the most beautiful of jewels. Your breasts were formed and your hair grew. You were naked and bare," just like that man who is interested in a woman for marriage that I was talking about from the beginning of this video. That man is God. God prepares you for salvation. His grace and love has been with you since the day you were born, even though you were forsaken, even though nobody loved you, even though your mother and father never cared about you, even though you are an orphan, even though you were bare and naked, but he cared for you anyway. God was busy working and sending his love to you behind the scenes. You experienced miracles in your life. Some of you don't know, or you don't know how to explain how you came out of that accident alive and without any scratches. You don't know who paid your school fees, but it was paid. You don't know how you were healed and survived that disease. Let me tell you, it was your God all along. God who loved you the first day he set his eyes on you. He is the one who has been sending those flowers, those letters of love to you, paying your bills even though you didn't understand how it happened. For the longest of time, he has been sending love letters to you, his friends, brothers, to propose marriage to you. These friends are his evangelists, his pastors, his true prophets. That neighbor, that Christian that you think is bothering you, you feel disturbed by God's friends. Well, God knows better. He knows it's time for your salvation. It's time for you to accept his marriage proposal. It's time for you to get married to him. In Ezekiel chapter 16 verse 8 says, "Later I passed by, and when I looked at you and saw that you were old enough for love, I spread the corner of my garment over you and covered your nakedness. I gave you my solemn oath and entered into a covenant with you, declares the sovereign Lord, and you become mine." God is very smart in everything he does. He does not present his salvation to you when he knows you are not ready yet. Whenever salvation is presented to you, just know God knows you are ready for it. It is you who is neglecting it in your free will that God gave to mankind. I tell you what, there are women who are living in regrets that they should have married the man who proposed marriage to them. They neglected that marriage, that proposal, and despised it because they were full of pride, not wanting to have a husband as a head of their lives, not wanting to be in covenant with any man in form of marriage. They still want to see other men or to date other men, so to speak, but they are regretting it now. No one wants to marry you anymore. You were damned. You despised the man who genuinely loved you. Well, God still wants to marry you. The proposal still stands. Come as you are. He wants to give you his name, Jesus Christ. He wants to wash you with his water and blood. He never stopped loving you. In Isaiah 55 says, Seek God whilst he may be found, because there will come a time when you will look for him and you will not find him no more. Don't be like that foolish woman who neglected and despised genuine love from the man who wanted to marry her, the man Jesus Christ with true love. He has been longing to marry you for a long time. He is still knocking at your door. Why don't you just open it for him to enter, receive him, and come in covenant with him and become his bride, his church? He wants to cover your nakedness with his garment, the garment of salvation, righteousness. You are his jewel. He wants you to grow and become more beautiful. In the hindsight, it was God all along who fought those battles for you, who performed those miracles, who opened those doors. Accept him, receive him, marry him, repent today before it's too late. Times and seasons are controlled by him. What is your eternity gonna be? Ask yourself that question. He loves you too much to lose you. Come into commitment with him now. Today is the day of salvation. Repent today.